Welcome to another live edition of Saturday's Warrior. I'm Trevor. We got Adam with us, and tonight we have a special guest, Brian Logan, former defensive back, BYU. And Brian, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey man, happy to be here. Happy to contribute in any way, shape, or form. So I appreciate it. I think more importantly, I should be thanking you guys, for thinking about little old me. So the fact that I'm on your brain and that you feel like I can make an impact and contribute, I appreciate that.
No, I appreciate it. I want to run through a little bit here because, as I mentioned, former player, you played 2 years at BYU. You were a standout, and I want to read through some of this. But it says, let's see here. It says, I want to make sure. Sorry, I got into the right spot here. But you were.
Go ahead, man. I'm not. Hey, I'm not offended. Go ahead, whatever you want to say. Go ahead.
I was making sure I wasn't reading your previous stats from your previous team, but let's see. 95 tackles, 68 solo tackles during 26 games as a Cougar, and I think you started, was it 24? And you were an All-American honorable mention in 2009, All-Mountain West Conference honorable mention, and Phil Steele, All-Mountain West second team member as a junior and third team pick as a senior. And eventually your pro career, you were with the Edmonton Eskimos. And I mean, just all sorts of accolades there. And
I gotta stop you because this is the best. I've been doing media and broadcast since 2012 or 2013 or whatever. This is the best intro I've ever had in my life. Where are you reading this from? Because when I get on other podcasts or shows, I want to send them this. This is the most accurate information,
well deserved,
I've ever got. I've heard when it comes to an introduction in the Bible.
Trevor does his homework, Logan.
Okay.
I'm posting this in the comments, but it'll be in there. But it is just right off BYU's website. So
it's on Brigham. Okay,
the source of truth.
Yeah, okay. Right. You know it. Hey, if it's coming from Brigham, you know it's true.
Absolutely. So, speaking of 2009, you can see here I've got my shirt on.
Oh, look at that!
Hey. If you look really close, you can see that signature from Max Hall. I stayed after the UCF game late and just like hanging out with people and wandered out and ran into him with his family. So he signed it. Anyway,
as much as I appreciate that shirt, that gives me a lot of anxiety.
Yeah,
trying to be perfect is hard.
Well, some of that pressure's up, right?
Oh yeah, I'm chilling now. I'll just
now flashbacks and nightmares.
Hey, now it's just I got 3 boys, right? One will be my oldest will be 14 in a couple weeks. My middle will be 10 in December, and then my youngest just turned 4 months today.
Whoa!
Yeah, I got a fresh one. I smell him all the time because he's still.
I love that new baby smell.
So my goal right now, like the anxiety is different in a good way. I'm just trying to make sure that they make it to 18 years old and that they contribute to society in a good way. Other than that, I don't really care. So. Anxiety is a little bit different. I would say this though, which is very interesting to say. There's less pressure being a father than being a starter for a worldwide church. Y'all can attack me, your fans or whatever, but that's just how I feel. I was prepared to be a father because it's a breeze. You know what I mean? Compared to
that is a great insight. That is a great insight. The pressure that an 18, 19, 21, 22-year-old feels walking out in front of 65,000 fans, trying to perform and win a game.
This is the thing though. I would say a lot of my teammates had a lot that were LDS. Some not LDS had a lot more pressure than me. But I remember going to practice or fall camps or meetings, and the way that Bronco positioned like the vision and the mission of the program and how we contributed to that. He made it so much that it's not about us. It was never about us. It was always about, team obviously, but that we were playing for something much more. Obviously, the church and the mission of the church and whatnot. And me, I'm sitting there like when he's getting these speeches, I'm looking, like, wait, like that's not you. You're yeah, I'm not you. Oh, you're LDS. And so I had a bigger weight and burden, which
because you're trying to embrace that larger mission that's new to you and
absolutely, man,
unfamiliar.
Absolutely, because I didn't really. I mean, I knew. I eventually ended up knowing what I was playing for, what it truly meant. After I took Intro to LDS, after I took that class, I really understood. What Bronco was saying, but it does something to you when you are doing anything, sports, work, whatever the case is. When you do something that's outside of yourself, there's a bigger burden. But I also believe that it's a bigger reward as well.
Yeah, that's good.
That's awesome. So
that's good.
Sounds like
that's my brother.
Oh, you're good. Hey, brother.
He working out. Caleb, say hi. He said
yeah. Sounds like, so obviously with time, looking back, it's given you some perspective, but talk to us a little bit about being a young man, being recruited and what that recruiting process was like, especially back then, because there's no NIL there, it was a very different landscape back then, and being recruited to somewhere like BYU and what led to your decision in coming.
You guys are like 2 for 2 when it comes to asking me the best questions and leading me up. Again, what's crazy is that I've been, again, like I started in media and BYUtv since 2012, and I've never had these questions.
Really?
I've never had it. When I first started with the media, I was on ESPN 960. I did a lot of stuff for KSL. As I started doing more shows for BYUtv, they stopped booking me. And I would ask them, like, yo, what's up? Like, did I do something wrong? And they're like, oh, you're just too big time for us. I'm like, sir.
You hit the big time in the Wasatch Front with BYUtv, man.
And I was like, if you guys knew how much I get paid for BYUtv, you was. I'm sorry, that was a joke. Hey, I apologize. Any of my producers, I love you. I appreciate you. That was a joke.
Remember, Brian, live. Can't edit. Can't edit.
You're right. This is why I said earlier before the show they want the 15-second delay.
That's right.
This is why.
Good news is no one's watching. So,
but this is why I appreciate that, because I have a really interesting story. So after high school, I had 0 offers, 0. 5'6", 150 pounds, like prototypical athlete, like man, like I had like a 2.0 GPA. It was probably more like a 1.7, but they, pushed it so I can graduate. My mission, my vision at that time was just to work at like a post office, like some type of union job, right? Like college wasn't even there. There was a coach from Foothill Junior College that saw me at the rivalry game that we had my senior year. He saw me play, and he reached out to my principal and said, "Hey, what's up with Brian Logan? Is he playing to, blah, blah, blah." So he calls me in the office, and I'm hella nervous. I'm like, wait a minute, it's a month left. Why am I getting called in? So I get called to the office, and he goes, "Hey, it's not what you're thinking, but there's some interest for college teams." And I was like, "Oh, there's no way," because I was taking like chemistry, algebra 3 or algebra 2, like all these AP type classes. Because prior to me graduating, I had like a 3.4 GPA, right? Like I would when it comes to eligibility, I was on top of my game. after my senior year, I dropped all those classes. Like I got to be careful with my words. I don't want to. I took the lower English class. I took the lower math class, which is called business math, which the best class I've ever taken in my life. But anyway, I was prepared to not go to college, and having that meeting with my principal, he told me about junior college. I had no idea that was a thing. So I ended up going to Foothill, and after my first year, I committed to San Diego State. I almost left, but I was at a point in my life where I grew up really fast. And what I mean by that is, sorry, bear with me. I got kicked out of my house when I was 17 years old. And the reason why I got kicked out was because I had personally got a shotgun pulled out on my mom when she was pregnant with the brother that just walked past. And I'm from the Bay Area, Northern California. I've never proclaimed to be like a gangster or anything like that. But I just put myself in situations that just wasn't good. So that happened, and she was like, "Oh no, you got to go." So I get kicked out. I go live with my grandma on my dad's side, and that's where the coach from Foothill recruited me, saw me, and when I tell you guys that I changed my life, man, I stopped, and the main reason it's bad to say. It was going to sound bad to say. I didn't change my life because of that moment. What changed my life and my perspective was because I was the only person in my friend group that didn't get a scholarship.
Really?
That was the reason why and it was the most embarrassing thing to everybody was gone but me. Going back to parties, and it's like high school kids, and I'm the only, you know what I mean? Like it was just
you're the super senior hanging out with all the high school kids.
Right. Yeah, yes. And I can give you list upon list, but that was my aha and my wake up moment. And especially the first year when everybody came back for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and everybody had Cal, Stanford, San Jose State, even Sac State, right? Like D1 AA, FS, like FCS schools. And I was in junior college gear. It was a feeling that I didn't want to feel that way no more. So when I say and sorry, this is a very long response to your question, but I'm taking advantage because you guys are the only ones that have asked me this question. I changed my life, and what I mean by that is I literally lived the honor code at BYU without even knowing. I never knew
before you got there.
Before I got there, I never knew BYU existed at all. And what I mean by the honor code is I stopped having sex, which I apologize to my high school sweetheart to this day. I'm like, please go find another boyfriend. It's not happening no more. Stop drinking. I stopped, smoking, and I would say drugs. I did a lot of drugs. In high school. I just completely turned my life around. I want to start going to church every day, or let's say twice a week, let's just say. Bible study and then church on Sunday.
Yeah.
And that's as an 18-year-old not living in his parents' house. I say that because nobody forced me to go. You know what I mean? Like
your own choice.
Man, I cut out very simple things. I stopped listening to rap music, listened to a lot of Christian music. I just really, put I've really focused my life at that moment around my relationship with God and Christ. And so I paint that picture. So fast forward to, after my freshman year, I committed to San Diego State. And this is not just a normal commitment. So my mom's from San Diego. So a lot of my childhood growing up, she would always take me to San Diego. We'd watch the Chargers, and she would be very strategic because we grew up in the Bay Area. I love Steve Young, watching Steve Young play. I grew up like I played quarterback when I was little. I still have drawings of Steve Young. I swear to you, I'll send it to you afterwards, and you guys can post it. Drawings of Steve Young that she would, hang on the fridge. So she would be very strategic of when the Niners play. So I was like all about San Diego, right? So when I committed San Diego State, it was almost as if I was a local kid. And my sophomore year comes around, and Brady Hoke, so Chuck Long, he gets fired.
Mm-hmm.
Brady Hoke, who ended up being the coach at Michigan, the head coach at Michigan. Yep. He takes over San Diego State. He comes from Ball State, takes over, and there's 8 kids that committed to the old staff. I was the only one that they didn't honor the scholarship for.
Really?
I found this information out. Man, gotta be like end of January. I graduated in a year and a half for JC, so I was ready to go. Like I was,
Yeah.
And I was just waiting, find out, tears or crying or whatnot. And about an hour or 2 hours later, as the entire coaching staff is going crazy trying to figure out like what's going on, how do we let this happen? BYU calls. And Coach Hill at the time, who was the defensive coordinator, calls my head coach. My head coach walks into the office of my DB coach where he's giving me tons of tissue. I'm like, I'm never going D1. This was my chance. And he called me. He's like, hey. So I walk over, he puts it on a speaker, and I'm just hearing the recruiting process from coach to coach, and then he gives me the phone eventually, and Coach Hill gets on the phone, and he goes, hey, I heard about your situation with San Diego State. At the time, I'm like, this happened like a couple hours ago. I didn't even think about that. I'm just thinking like, oh, this is another, it's another opportunity. And he goes, we want to start the recruiting process because we heard about your situation. And I just want to let you know things are a little bit different here. I'm going to go, okay, go ahead, tell me. He goes, you can't drink. I'm like, okay. Can't smoke. Okay. Can't have sex. Okay. Because I was, and this is why I gave you that background in the foundation. I was already doing those things.
Yeah, so he led with that when he talked to you. First thing he says, look, we want to start the recruitment process, but hey, look, this is,
different.
This is how it's going to go.
Yep. And he strategically, I'm a comms major, right? I got my degree in communications. Actually, it's like 8 of us that got my degree, but that's another conversation. So I understand pauses and nonverbal communication. So he paused as if he was waiting for the reaction, right? And I think the fact that I agreed allowed him to, move forward. With the recruiting process, but it's just so interesting how God moves and the stuff that he puts you through that you see as a negative, it becomes such a positive, and not necessarily like a positive, but it's more of it's preparation, like you talking about a kid that is Black, not Mormon. And I was probably, and I say this in the most humble, respectful way, I was probably truly living the honor code better than maybe, I don't know, 50% of the kids that were currently there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a very hard conversation to have with your high school sweetheart that you can't be intimate anymore.
Yeah.
After being, you know what I'm saying? Like after doing it a lot. And a lot of I got man, so many of my teammates initially like made fun of me. All the girls, all the female, especially athletes, because we, how like you're secluded. Athletes in any school, you're secluded, meaning you have your own area, right? Like you're kind of away from, and they would be like, you're so stuck up and then you don't want to talk to us. I'm like, man, I just want to get some Gatorade, get stressed. I'm trying to trying to go to San Diego State. That's all I'm trying to, So it was hard, the gratification that I got during that moment, obviously outside of seeing my progression, was whenever we had a big game and we won, they'd be like, yo, you gotta come out with this, please. And I'm like, man, I got stats homework. And they're like, please, you gotta be the designated driver. And I was like, okay, if lives are involved, I'll be the sober one. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, and I'll wrap this up really quick, but so that was Coach Hill. A couple of weeks later, what was interesting is this: all of the coaches that were on the staff of San Diego State when they offered me, there was one that stayed, but the rest went different areas. Most of them went to the Mountain West, and Coach Wells, Matt Wells, he went to Utah State, and he called me right after Coach Hill did, and they scheduled a visit, and this was oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his name. The first year he was the D coordinator at Utah, and then he became the head coach. Coach Anderson, he's the D line.
Anderson.
Look, CTE is real. Anyway, so Coach Anderson. So I ended up getting an offer and a visit there first before BYU. But I ended up getting a lot more offers because of that staff and how they went to just different schools. And as a side note, this is very important for fans and parents and players to understand that like this is why you don't burn bridges at all. This is why you take advantage of relationships, because that whole staff at San Diego State saw something in me enough to where they wanted to offer me a scholarship, so much that when they went to the different places, each one of them called me. So I had Wyoming, I had New Mexico. It was, again, all Mountain West. Yeah, right. Yes. And I tell these people all the time, and this goes beyond football, right? This is just relationships as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I go on my visit there, and then my mom calls me. She goes, "Don't commit." And I'm like, I'm trying to commit, because the Broncos pitch and Coach Anderson's pitch, you wouldn't even think, like, hearing Broncos pitch, you wouldn't even think that he was the head football coach. Coach Anderson said, "Look, man, you're a 5'6" corner. We believe in you. Blah blah blah. You're gonna play corner. You're gonna play strong safety. You're gonna play nickel, and I'm gonna blitz you at all these positions. You return punts and kicks. You're gonna be a punt returner. You're gonna be a kick returner, and we're gonna create small packages for you on offense."
Wow.
Because when I was in junior college, I played offense too. That's how look, you can't be 5'6" and you know what I mean? Like there is a lot more to my story that people don't understand. I'm not gonna say I was Travis Hunter, but I showed.
But you were Travis Hunter. I mean, you don't need to be modest, Brian. Come on.
I showed the ability. I showed that I could be a Travis Hunter, and when you think about from a football perspective, when kids get drafted that are outside of maybe the third round, you're drafting off potential, right? It is what it is. First, second, third, maybe third round. Like, I expect you to play. I don't care how much money you like I drafted you here, you are going to play. And I think I put myself in a position where I showed that, hey, like, this is my potential, even though I am short and I am small, but more importantly, like, I'm an athlete, and I think that's what made it a little bit easier for me to get that scholarship. And also, side note, when the San Diego State coach came to recruit me, or he just came in general, But he ended up after when he came to the practice, I did really good, and he saw that I was playing both ways. He ended up staying 3 more days. After his 3rd day, he said, "Look, I want to offer you, there's a couple guys on the staff that have some issues because your height." And I was like, "Oh, I can dunk a ball." So I promise you, I'm not making this up. Promise you. And I'm sorry that you might have to cut this up into 2 episodes. And I apologize. So he goes, he says a cuss word, and I'm like, let's go to the gym. So my coach goes to the women's volleyball coach, because of Title IX and all that. We didn't have a women's basketball team. So he goes and gets the women's volleyball coach. He goes to get the keys from her, opens the gym. Now, mind you, it was a women's basketball. I would say that. But I ended up dunking. And the coach goes, "Hold on a second." Goes out for maybe 5 minutes, comes back, and he goes, "Here's the head coach. You got to offer."
That's awesome.
So
the dunk sealed it.
Yeah, right. The dunk sealed it. So anyway, this is a very and I apologize. Two episodes. Blame me, whatever. If I got to come back, but however you need me to make up for what I'm doing right now. Again, I just say this, and I'm thankful for you guys asking me that question, because there's only a very intimate amount of people in my circle that know the story. And I'll say this last story, and then we can go on and talk about the team. When Coach Hill came to meet me, he came to my grandma's house. Again, I got kicked out. So I'm at my grandma's house. I call my mom. My mom comes. She drives an hour away to my house, to my grandma's house. And about 5 minutes before Coach Hill comes, she goes, "Stand up." And she's like, "Where's your shoes at? Go get your Jordans that have the biggest in." So I go do that. And then she stands up, she goes, "Not good." Now, mind you, my mom is maybe a centimeter, like a half an inch shorter than me today. At the time then, because she's a little older now, she probably was an inch taller than me. And she was like, "Go get some socks and bring them to me." She goes, "Go get your football socks and bring them to me." She said, "Give me 2 pairs." So I come downstairs with the Jordan 8s, had a good inch. She folds the socks up, puts them in my soles of my shoes, and now I'm 5'8", 5'9". True story. Okay, I'm done.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. What a cool journey, though.
Wow.
It has been.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we were talking a little before we hopped on, and we've been talking about Bronco, but describe him as a coach. So you talked about him a little bit as a person. But when he was coaching, because he definitely has a persona about him. What was he as hard nosed as his reputation kind of suggests?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He yeah. I only smile because of the perspective that I have now. Back then it's like, I hate this dude.
Really?
Like somebody give me, please give me something. I had a rock or something, I'll throw it. Yeah. Maybe this will give you some good perspective. So you walk into the football team now, and in the program, in the locker room, and weight room, wherever, you see former players, like posters on the walls of former players.
Yeah.
When I played, there was pictures of Navy SEALs dropping down from the helicopters into the water. That can give you
He's all about that warrior mentality.
Yes. Yeah.
But I got to tell you, because there's a lot of guys, the Broncos guys that they're still ride or die for Bronco. Like they're all in, and hard nosed guys. But
I'll take a bullet for him right now.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about that statement is he's way older than me. His kids are way grown. I got little kids, and I still would die for him. that says a lot of how much, I can't even say respect, but man, how much I love him, but he shaped that love in a way where it's sacrificial. And you know how he leveraged the faith, the LDS faith. Like, who do we look up to, right? As Christians, who do we look up to? What do we hear our whole lives? When we hear about the gospel, like, what's more sacrificial than laying down your life?
Yeah.
And he did a really fantastic way of manipulating that to the game. To the game. I say that, and I say that respectfully, but I'm just saying. I'm just thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did it.
No,
yeah.
I've been a huge Bronco fan my whole life. I'll be a fan wherever he goes. But man, I remember he'd go out there for spring ball and in like the blizzard, he'd be standing out there in his shorts and like just everything about him, like every picture, every interview, like he was on point, on mission. And I know it came across as quirky to some people sometimes, but I was a huge fan of that kind of discipline mindset. And I loved hearing him. Like he'd teach principles in interviews when he's talking, and the things you'd learn from just when he would talk was awesome.
I remember.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, I remember he was on a Jim Rome interview, and Jim Rome, I think like 2 or 3 times throughout the interview, he's like, I know we got to go to break, but I got to ask you another question. And he like just kept going. He was just like enthralled talking to Bronco. He's like, I know we got to break, but we're gonna keep talking here because it was just a great interview. But
and the biggest thing, the thing that stands out, again, this is from years removed, being in the media. Been on both sides as far as like player and then media. I almost cussed. Bronco didn't care. He just didn't care. That's the difference.
Yeah.
And I feel like I learned a lot at that time of my life, being a young adult, and seeing how he didn't care, and seeing the success that came with that. Like not like seeing how you not caring about outside influences and how that's not a negative, especially at a time where social media was like just taking off.
Yeah.
Was the best situation that I think all of us could have ever been in, to understand that. And he would say this all the time, like, if I say something that's gonna displease them, I'm not going home at night. They're not sleeping in I don't gotta go home tonight, sleep with them in the bed. I'm going home to my wife and my kids. And that perspective and that worldview was like, I think it was crucial for us at that time, at that moment. I don't know if it would really resonate now with these guys, because you got NIL, social media, this whole thing.
Yeah, we'll see how he does at Utah State. I'll be fascinated to see. I mean, it looked like he was building something in New Mexico before he jumped over to Utah State, and he's got that same mantra, that same mindset. It seems wherever he goes, earn your number, earn the name on the back of your jersey, like the whole gambit. And we'll see. It'll be fun to see how he does in Logan.
Honor, spirit, and tradition.
That's right. That's right.
So, Brian, just because I want to make sure we have time to talk a little bit about this year's team, because you've got a unique perspective as a former player and also someone who's still around the team. You got a unique insight into.
And I'm black, and I'm not Mormon. Sorry, LDS.
I wasn't going to go there, but sure. But yeah, your perspective of what these players are going through and prepping the season. Obviously, the challenge of losing a quarterback, having a quarterback battle, but also bringing back a lot of vets, kind of left a little bit of something on the table the year prior. And so tell us a little bit about what the psyche is of this team and how they have to approach this season.
I'm smiling because, like, you guys are 3 for 3. I've been okay. So I'm employed by BYUtv. I've said this a couple times. I do our pre and post game shows. I'll be on AFR tomorrow. I do Sports Nation here and there, and I've started doing my game prep this weekend. And I wasn't gonna say this, but guys, dang, you guys 3 for 3. and people, I've been so removed and I'm so old. Like people don't understand. Like I played with Jake Heaps when I was a senior. Jake Heaps, exactly. See that face that you made. So like when it comes to this question, I think I'm the only person in media. I'm like, no, there's no way. He's a true freshman. No, there's no way. Because Jake Heaps at the time, based off of what recruiting service or website that you followed, was the number one recruiting. He was number one quarterback in the nation.
Yeah.
So much to and he graduated early. So much to where I remember when he came on campus, I looked at him and I was like, "Why are you here? Like really, like what do you do? Like what are you doing here?" And he was so confused and shocked. And I was like, "No, seriously, I'm not joking. You had offers to Tennessee, to UCLA. Like what do you do?" And this was we weren't even as BYU. We weren't even as good as we are now. And I was like, What's wrong with you? What type of drugs are you taking? You know we have an honor code, right? Like you're not gonna last here. And that experience. I mean, we ended up going 7-6. Now Riley Nelson ended up starting. They rotated right the first couple of games, and Riley gets hurt at Florida State. This is 2010. Season-ending injury, and then Jake ends up starting. Officially moving on. So I've been getting hit up all the time like, yo, wasn't Jake the first true freshman? And I'm like, nah, Riley started the first game against Washington. So history-wise, we can't, on paper, we can't count that. So that's a very long way to set up your my response to your question is I went 7-6 with a true freshman. That was the number one ranked quarterback in the nation.
So
I went 7-6. So to me, I'm like, man, I don't believe it. I need to see it.
I have to ask this because last week they announced it, and the same day they announced that Bear was a starting quarterback, Jake Hatch does an interview with Jay Bryant Strouder, and he asks him afterwards, what do you think? And Strouder doesn't know. He doesn't know that Bear's a starting quarterback. He's like, what? They announced that? Like he found out from Jake during that interview. And so vocally, of course, he's supportive of it, right? Of course, oh yeah, he's got it. But you can hear the surprise in his voice, which tells you something. And B, he's a little candid where he's like, well, he's had some freshman moments. He kind of telegraphs his passes, but yeah, he's going to be great. That interview to me told me more. One, I don't know why the team didn't know before the media knew. That kind of surprised me. I mean, maybe that's how it goes, but I would think they'd tell the team. And B, you could tell from his reaction, it wasn't like a slam dunk, like, oh yeah, Bear's obviously the choice. There was some surprise there. He had many freshman moments in camp. And so I know we're trying to say, hey, Bear won the job. He's going to be the great. And I hope that's the case. As a fan, I can't wait to watch him. But if I'm reading the tea leaves there, there's some stuff under the surface. Am I right?
100%, man. Like, and after you guys launch this, because of what I just said, how I set this up, my phone's gonna be ringing off. Like, because I'm so old, people don't understand. Like, like, we would go into games. It was like the 2003 or 2002 Ravens, whenever they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and you'd hear these stories of Ray Lewis, like, yo. Just score 3 points. This team sucks so bad. Just score 3 points and we're gonna win. They're like, we had those conversations like, Jake. It was so bad when we were in practice and we got a turnover, we would literally practice scoring, like pitching the ball back. I never said this live out loud. I promise you. We were practicing. Hey, if somebody gets a turnover, let's start practicing pitches because we knew that it didn't matter if we got a turnover on the 10-yard line in the red zone, like the offense is backed up, and we get an interception 10-yard line. There's a high chance we probably won't get it. We probably won't even get a field goal. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like it got to the point where we would talk. Look, I almost cussed again. would talk so much mess to Jake when we would get off. We would get interceptions or turnovers and literally run the ball. And this is, mind you, this is the opponent's football. Run to Jake and be like, please, you don't even got to score. Just don't turn it over, please, just please.
So this season does not have. You don't have high expectations for this season. You got a true freshman quarterback. It's going to take him a year to figure out up from down in the college game, no matter how highly touted or physical gifts he comes in with, right?
I've been saying this from day one. Just make it to a bowl game, fellas, please. Bowl game. Now, if you would see, and this is the thing I want to tell people, like, I don't know, maybe there's a couple people that you could say here and there when it comes to like true advocates of the school and promoters or whatnot, like from a non-LDS and being Black. Like, I'm all for the school. I'm not a hater. I'm not a downer. I just experienced this. I experienced the season that's coming up. I've experienced this. That's the.
You got to call like to see it.
I'm just not sold at all. And it's nothing to. I'm not trying to downplay or talk bad about him. I really think he probably could be the next Taysom. Taysom is by far outside of Max. Taysom is by far my favorite player. Not even quarterback.
Because you played with Max, and he won't forgive you if he's not your favorite player.
Max is the way I feel about Bronco is the way I feel about Max. I take a bullet for him. I'd run through a wall for him. Whatever he need. If he wanted my left pinky toe, I'd give it to him. Not my right one though, but my left one. You know what I mean? I would do a lot for Max, which says a lot because he wasn't even on my side of the ball, you know. So our interaction and engagement and opportunities that we had to interact with each other were less because of that reason. But it's the same type of leadership. But going back to Bear, like from a physical standpoint and his opportunity and his ceiling, like. Man, he's up there. I'm rooting for him. But at the end of the day, like, I didn't play with somebody like you. You know what I mean? Like, and you may not have the accolade. You may have the physical attributes, you know, than Jake. But Jake had the 5-star. If there was 10 stars, Jake would have had 11 stars. And we went 7-6. So to me, I'm like, and I got a little bit of PTSD from that. You know what I mean? Like.
Fair enough.
You know, a lot of the younger guys when we played, and I love them to death for this because we had 4. I think when we started the season, we had 3 returning starters on defense that were seniors. Think about that. And you know where they all were at? The secondary. So that leadership and the way to carry yourself and to teach younger players, that wasn't spread out. That was all in one group. So we were extremely young. Our poster, go back and look at this, do the research. Our poster, you know back in the day when Broncos, how they had the poster of the seniors? It was like 10 of us. And only 3 or 4 were starters. So there's a lot more that is involved than physical attributes. Like there's a whole, people don't understand this, man. Like there's a persona that is developed and that's needed. And this is position based, but even more so for a quarterback, because you're, regardless of not like you're the leader of the team. I don't care what nobody says. You're leaders.
You are. Yeah, you got to be. You got to be the vocal leader of the team. And can you do that at 18 years old on a team where you've got return missionaries and dudes who are 23, 24 years old and married with kids? Can you be the leader in that atmosphere? And everybody's saying the right things now, and they'll continue to say it, right? They'll continue to say, yeah, he's good. And then till the losses start to come in, and then you got to explain what's going on. So
see, Adam, you get it. You get it because there's media talk and then there's athlete talk, right?
Yeah.
Like we're taught, and people may not know this, but we actually have media training. Like we
That's what I've
literally
heard.
we have media training.
You have to toe the company line. You got to say it right. And I get it. Every sports team does this. I don't fault a team for doing it. But after being a fan and listening to that for 20 years, coach speak and players speak after a game, and all of a sudden you're lining up. My favorite is the preseason, coming off of an injury, off-season injury, and they're like, I'm close to 100%. I'm right there. I'm like 99%. Next year they come around and they're like, oh man, it's so great to be healthy again. Last year I was like 50%. I'm like, you had like 9 interviews where you told me you were almost 100%, and I could see you weren't 100% on the field. So why are we talking like this? So it happens every year.
That's why you get it, because athletes. Well, I'll say this. This comes back from my degree that 8 people helped me get, but from the communication standpoint, if anybody that is trained in media, like as far as in this situation, they will always tell on themselves, and you caught that. They will, if it's not true, they will always tell on themselves. And you make a good point. Like if I'm 23, 24, and I got kids, and I got this true freshman coming in, I'm like, dude, you don't wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and make an 8-ounce, bottle. Like, I'm not listening to you. I'm just not. And especially if you're not good. But this is the difference, though, to kind of bring this full circle into where I see the opportunity. At the very end of the day, man, like people have to understand that you could be black, white, Muslim, Mormon, red, green, yellow, blue, but if you produce, I'm gonna follow you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna follow you. And
does the schedule, the way it's set up, allow Bear to produce enough early on to get that confidence? I mean, you're going against apparently 2 really, really bad teams to start the year. You got a chance to produce a bit and to come out with some victories before they come out here to East Carolina. And there's an opportunity there for the first couple games where I hope he doesn't go out and try and be Superman, just play within the offense. But you can get a couple victories and have the team feeling like, okay, maybe.
Gosh, I like this podcast. I like this. I like you guys' show. I like you guys. You ask questions that are real. You don't ask media surface type questions.
We're not smart enough to do that.
You're making me think. Damn. Man, that's a really good question, because a lot of time there's terms that's thrown out that's called fool's gold, right? It's like a team will be like 6-0 and they'll be ranked top 15 and people will be all high on them. But then when you dig deeper into the analytics and you look at their opponents, it's like, well, their opponents are ranked, like they're horrible. Like their opponents are ranked, the highest ranked opponent out of these 6 wins is 70th in the nation. And then when you get that data, you're like, they should definitely be 6-0. If so it's hard to give you a direct answer. I think what you have to do is you have to look at when BYU has a quality opponent from an analytics standpoint, not from a brand or a logo standpoint, but from an analytical standpoint and like stats and data, and look how they competed and the outcome and the result. That's your measurement right there. However, I would say this: what made me hopeful with Jake, the first 4 games that he started. You can see progress from game 1, 2. Then you look at Oklahoma, then you look at Oklahoma State, right? Like single game, like single score possessions, and you can see the potential. I was like, you know what? Even though we're not making it to the bowl game, and I'm going to be, minus a game check for BYUtv, I see the future. Like I see the progress. He's progressing.
Yeah.
And then what happened, in the games that were single score possessions that they won, people always say like, oh, the magic or the luck. It's like, no, you think about it. They were in those situations with Jake during that 0-4 run when he redshirted. The team was in that situation. He already knew, right? It's like having my first kid, right? I'm like, oh, gentle. You know what I'm saying? Like when I put his clothes on, my second kid, I'm like, I don't care.
Stuff him in there?
Yeah, exactly. Because of my experience, right? Like,
yeah.
I know that putting his little arm through this hole is not gonna break his arm. So you know what I'm saying? And that is the biggest difference. And I would say the metric that it's you can't measure. You can't measure you can't measure experience to an extent, but you guys get the point that I'm making, right?
I think that's an awesome point, and one that actually I don't know if people talk about enough is if you talk about, everyone just talks about regression to the mean. Well, first of all, your audience talking about babies and changing, obviously, we're all behind that, but two, they talk about regression to the mean this year. Oh, when you're in these close games, but we were in some of those close games, and in the prior year in 23 now, it's so yeah, absolutely. He was learning on that and building on that. Granted, it's a different quarterback, but I don't think it was a fluke that we won those games. One, like you said, Jake was able to handle the pressure. He'd been there before. But two, this team was creating those situations to, those types of turnovers and putting itself in those situations and to be able to capitalize off it. So I don't completely buy into that part. But why don't we go through real quick? We'll just do rapid fire each game. And if we think BYU is going to win or lose, and ultimately what we think their final record is going to be. So
I just sat here for like 10 minutes and gave you my explanation of what I went through in my experience.
Yeah.
And then you want to come with me. you want to ask me this question. I'm gonna go along. I just say this because I don't. Well, okay. I'll say this, and then we can go with it. We started 1-4 that year, right? Jake ended up hit the fourth game, and it was like the greatest comeback of BYU history up until a certain amount of time. And it took some time for him to get his feet under his belt. So I say that because I'm to the fans and the listeners, I'm going in with that perspective. I'm going in it, and I pray, God, let's just have a little prayer. God, don't let me be jaded of my experience with Jake Heaps when it comes to these questions.
What I will say about Jake is I thought he always handled being benched. Like, he was a class act, and he's still like supportive of the program and everything. I think he handled himself really well. So I gotta at least give Jake that much.
Jake is a really good friend of mine, and this is why I could talk. I almost cuss again. That's why I could talk smack about him, because Jake. I think Jake was in a situation where when people are like, man, like good timing, good opportunity, like perfect place, like when I had got, my offer from San Diego State. I don't think I mentioned this. When Brady Hoke took my scholarship back, he was on the phone with Coach Hill, right? Mm. And so Brady Hoke comes in, well, he was on the phone with the only with the receiver coach, who was the only one that was on the staff, that was kept on the staff. So when Brady Hoke walks into the office, he's on the phone with Coach Hill, and Coach Hill can hear the receiver coach from San Diego State and Brady Hoke talk about how they weren't going to honor my scholarship.
Oh,
you talk about right place, right time, right moment, right? I think that so then Brady Hoke walks out. He goes, "No, I don't want to." The receiver coach goes, so Coach Hill goes, "What's his situation? Like why don't you guys offer him? What's wrong with him?" Just randomly, because they're good friends. He's not even on no recruiting type of energy or anything. And he goes, "I don't know. I got to talk to him. I'll talk to him after this is over." But he's just short. Like, he's like, "How short is he?" He's 5'6", and he was like, "Oh, I probably wouldn't offer him either." However, there at that time there was a junior college kid, because I went to junior college, that had committed to BYU, corner, black, not LDS. He had just recently decommitted from BYU because his junior college coach got the DB coaching job at Washington. So he said, "Hey, I've been with this dude for 2 years. I'm no disrespect." So you talk about right place, right time to bring it back full circle. I think everything as far as that situation, and there's tons, right, with how God works and how he moves and open doors and closes doors. I feel like that was how it was with Jake Heaps on the opposite side. It was like bad timing, wrong place, wrong
tough
time,
situation.
because he's the most gifted and talented, and anybody that's played with him will say the same thing. I've never seen the arm strength, the accuracy. I just think he fell in that type of situation. Anyway, I'm sorry, that was a tangent, but yeah.
No,
I love the insights.
Yeah.
So rapid fire. Let's just go through each game. You just call it win or loss. Starting with Portland State this weekend. You can't be so down as to give BYU a loss against Portland State, Brian.
That's 2 wins right there.
Okay.
All right.
That's 2 wins.
So
all right, I'm a win with Portland State too.
Yeah,
okay.
2 wins.
Stanford.
Win.
Okay, agreed. And so, Brian, we're both in Virginia, and so we're going to be at the ECU game. So I don't know. I'm better be a win, but they've given us fits the last 2 times.
Hey, call me for a post game, because you guys are gonna be there. I need the insights from you. You get insights from me. I need insights from you. Call me. Let's do a post game.
We'll deliver.
Yeah.
We'll deliver.
Let's do it.
Okay, drive home. Yeah, awesome.
yeah, whatever. Yeah, how you guys want to do it?
Okay.
Win. ECU win. Yeah. Not a guarantee. First road game. True freshman quarterback.
Do I have to say win or loss? Can I give you not sir? Can I give you
you're gonna pass.
I'll pray about pass. I was gonna say I'll pray about it. Pass.
Oh wow. Okay. Not bad. Yeah. This could be, but like all of a sudden having that bye game that we hated so early in the season seems pretty well placed to be like, okay, let's regroup. Let's get to the East Coast where they can get out early, get kind of acclimated. And I really hope, like, this team seems too good to be losing.
Wait. The bye it's the bye, and then it's East
and then East Carolina. Yeah.
Oh, win.
All right.
I thought
it was coming off the bye.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
But then you're flying back from Virginia, and then you got to go back on the road, see Coach Prime and whatever's left of his team.
Oh, that's a win. That's a win.
Okay. Win.
No Shador. No, that's all right.
I'm saying loss. That's our first loss. A surprise loss.
Ooh.
You got true freshman quarterback on the road, Big 12 opener, and a motivated but much less talented Colorado team. They're going to want revenge. They're going to come out hyped, and we're going to have one of those funky games. I feel like we have one every year where you're like, wow, why can't we score? That's our game. I'm calling us for the early loss at Colorado.
You should coin that. Like, I've never heard surprise loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 for 4. You got let me be a third co-host, man. I never heard it that way. Like, surprise loss. I like that. I think that is a good surprise loss.
So if you drop that on AFR, you can just shout us out. Say, hey, Adam,
that's right.
Surprise loss.
That's gonna. I'm gonna get my whole game check gonna be removed. I'd sacrifice. Hey, remember I taught you what Bronco taught me? Sacrifice.
Yeah, sacrifice.
Like Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Tradition.
There we go.
So yeah, I totally see what you're saying, Adam. I just, after watching what Jay Hill did to Colorado last year, I just don't. It's early on enough. This Colorado team's still, I think, going to be figuring things out. I gotta believe
they will be figuring things out. They're not going to be a good team, so I don't think they'll be good this year. Anyway, we can keep going.
But the surprise,
we're going rapid fire. Yeah. That's not
good.
Unexpected.
The way you frame it, yeah, that's good.
So we were both, at least I was. I think we were at the last West Virginia game. I've seen BYU play and lose to West Virginia twice. It really hurt, but I think this time is going to be different. BYU gets the win in Lavelle.
Yeah, win for me.
Okay, so we're all saying, well, okay, so 5-0, 2 of Adam. Even though Brian's the pessimist, Adam.
I'm 4-1 now.
Okay, And then we go to Arizona.
Win. Worst team in the Big 12 this year. Win.
Yeah, debut in the chat for sure.
See, Brian thinks we're gonna have a horrible season. We're gonna be 6-0.
I have Arizona as our spot.
Oh, you do? You think lost at Arizona?
I just wonder if
I can see that, but
it's gonna. I don't know. I mean, BYU's been really good against Arizona the last several years, but each year is different. I still think their quarterback is talented. I don't have any faith in this coach or what he's doing with the team.
It's the coach.
But it's 5. I don't know, 5 games. If BYU really wins all those, at some point, like his freshman quarterback, I feel like you're going to drop one of the first 6. So I could see Colorado, but I picked Arizona. I just wonder if at that point you start running out of steam. Maybe you're looking ahead to Utah. I don't know.
Yeah, there's certain factors that when we do stuff like this as analysts, there's factors that we don't take into consideration, like injuries, probably number one thing. Like there's like roadblocks, right? Like just stuff that like the unforeseen. Those are the things that we can't when you start to consider things that you can't measure, your perception starts to change. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, when we found out that Harvey Unga wasn't going to be a part of our, roster heading in 2010 when we had the number 1, quarterback in the nation, I was like, all right, guys, just make it to a bowl game.
Which you did. That's good.
That was the goal. It was no longer Mountain West Conference. It was like, fellas,
bowl game.
And the younger guys was like, let's send these seniors off right. Come on. How would you feel if you were a senior and you didn't get to? And I was like, yeah, what he said. You know what I'm saying? The unforeseen things is
Hey, you made it to the bowl game.
You did. Hit that goal.
Hey, man.
And you won big.
And New Mexico, look, my junior year, our per diem was, because we were in Vegas, was like we got like $285 a day. No, I'm not lying. New Mexico Bowl was like $30 a day. It was depressing. It was depressing. It was.
That's hilarious.
Because it's they pay you off the cost per like where you're at, right?
Yep. That's all you need there.
It was depressing. Before I was like, "Hey, mom, you want the new makeup set? I got you." Talking to my girlfriend, I didn't know they did it this way. So.
$30. That's a lot of street tacos or something. I'm sure there was something.
That's right,
man. That was gas money. That was gas money from Salt Lake to the airport to Provo.
All right.
So you got Utah next.
Yeah.
This is more of a hope. Given all I talk about a freshman quarterback, I gotta go for a win, man. It is more my doubt in Utah's offense and their ability to score on our revamped defense than anything else. I think we come away with the win.
Hey, 2 of our top players are come from Utah. We better win.
I can't.
Oh,
the
loss in the rivalry game.
Hey, I'm not saying a loss. I just can't. I can't give you an answer, man. Like,
he's gonna pass again.
Hey,
you will get cut. We will cut or edit it out if you pick
that is hilarious. Look, hey, I've been a part of a lot of rivalry games, and I'm not saying this just because of like me being biased. I almost cussed again. That's 5 times. I'm doing good.
You're doing great.
I have no idea. I say that in the most sincere place in my heart, which is deep, way deep down. I have no idea. You guys. It's hard to formulate the words. Anything like you know the term any given Sunday. Like this is what this game is, and you could look back at the data. Fans, analysts, look back at the data, and you look at these 1-score games over the last.
Yeah, who
That's
knows?
my answer.
Who knows what's gonna happen?
Wait, right?
Well, Trevor, are you gonna commit? Where are you going? Win or loss?
I'm thinking BYU. We're not.
Okay.
All right.
I would say this though. I would say advantage BYU because of home. Anybody that has home field advantage or that's playing at home in rivalries like this will always have the advantage, always. But you know why? You think about this. I'll give you some real good perspective. If Utah had a quarterback last year, do we win that game?
Probably not. Let's be honest. Right? I mean, we fell flat offensively, and
Adam, you said it. I didn't say it. Adam, you said it. You said what I was thinking though. I just didn't want to say it out loud.
Yeah.
I'm muting Adam now.
but to make that statement relevant, we don't know where Bear is yet.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just trying to paint the picture. Like this right here, this right here, the square.
Painted. Yep.
This is the canvas. I'm just trying to paint the picture.
So I'll paint this picture. All of us have it. Feels like there is a reasonable chance that BYU is 6-1 at this point in the season, regardless of where the loss comes. Like that.
Fair enough. I like that. I like that.
The rest of the experience of this team, even with a freshman at quarterback, that there is a path because the schedule, the way it lined up, there is a path for BYU to start on a very strong foot, getting to maybe 6-1. That seems like
I like that. I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
That is,
okay. But then we hit the rest of the schedule, right, Trevor?
I would bet. You know, I told you guys I got 3 kids. I'd bet my oldest on that. I don't really like him right now because he ain't been talking to me lately. But I'm just saying, like, I'm confident. I'm
playing fast and loose with the kids there. That's
hey, I'm not. That's not
okay.
far fetched. See, look, this is my baby right here.
Firstborn. Oh, look at that.
You can see.
Yeah.
It's my youngest. Yeah.
Oh, what a cutie.
Yeah, he's my favorite because he had my screensaver. But yeah, but I'm saying, like, from a confidence standpoint, I would bet my oldest. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
For being pessimistic coming into this and all that lead in talking about Jake. Now Jake Heaps, that is. All right. So then we follow up the Holy War going to Iowa State, who is likely to be one of the contenders for the Big 12 championship. Yeah.
Loss.
Which is
that's mostly because we follow the rivalry game. Because we follow. If it was a different week, I think we could contend. But following the rivalry week, we will be emotionally put out. We won't win that game.
We saw what happened against Kansas last.
Yeah. I'm happy you said that. Look, I'm gonna say this, but y'all didn't hear it from me. You heard it from another BYU insider. Jake specifically was. Well, I guess I can say this because Jake was. Like that game takes more out of you emotionally than physically, by far. I can't speak for other rivalries, but that one by far. But from a physicality standpoint, it does as well because you hit a little harder, you run a little faster, and that's all week. Like you're zoned in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I saw teammates like leading up to Utah week. When I saw them, you know, in the training room with me at 11 o'clock, I'm like, look, I don't go to class. What you doing not going to class? That's when I knew it was real. You know what I'm saying? Like you missing class like me. It's a whole nother level. What I'll say is from my inside information, what I know, I shouldn't say some information. That sounds weird. From what I know, he was so banged up that it impacted him
really
the next week. Absolutely. And it gave me a lot of grace for him. And then it also made me question the depth because I was like, if it's that bad, why don't we have Gary going?
Gary, I know. I would have loved to see Gary last year. See what he could do.
Look, this is the rabbit hole goes deeper. And I can say this because it's past, right? So, coaches, if you guys come across this now, I won't say nothing during the season, but postseason, I will say something. Gary had some injury issues as well, to where it was to the point where he was like, "If you need me, I'll go in."
Oh wow!
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. This is really good information for you guys. I hope I don't get in trouble. Anyway,
dropping hot takes. All right. That's good stuff.
So you can actually this is actually good though, because you're getting like a coach's perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
And view. It's like, okay, we just went through one of the most emotional and physical wins from a rivalry standpoint, to where, you know, our quarterback is like at 70%, but our backup is like it's, if he's dead, then put me in. You know what I mean? Like, if he's still breathing, I'm staying on the sideline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it gives you really good perspective of like what coaches go through, and us as analysts and fans, we don't know.
We have no idea. We have a small sliver of information.
Man, no idea. So when you look back, and fans and analysts, as we can go back and look at that game, it's like, Jake, you played horrible. Like, who are you? I don't even know you. But then when you put into context of this information, it's like, oh, like you had some bruised ribs, and you like your whole left leg, and I'll say this: us as football players, especially now, we're all about the gear and swag, right? Like when you see a player that's consistent in how he looks, and then when there's a game where he looks different, like why I've never seen him with one sleeve. See,
the injury.
The injury. Start looking at that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you find me in a parking lot not breathing somewhere, Layton, I love you, Mom. I love you. I may be giving too much information out.
Now we know the secrets. Now we know.
You know the secrets.
That's good. All right, but all of us are lost then on Iowa State.
Yes, yeah. That's a loss.
What about you, Trevor? You too?
Okay. Yeah. So I think all BYU's kind of fans are pretty much writing that one off. Bye week, though, maybe we can recover, regroup a little bit. Then we go to Texas Tech, who is considered maybe the favorite of the conference. Well, at least one of.
W.
I'm saying a win, too. I am not sold on Texas Tech. You look back over the past few years when the transfer portal has been huge. They built through the transfer portal. What team is built through the transfer portal to championship success? You can add in some pieces, but you can't build with the transfer portal, and that's what Texas Tech did. They're the 2023 BYU team. Huh?
Yep. Us 2 years ago. Yeah, us 2 years ago. Yeah. Colorado 2 years ago. I'm sure there's others. So.
Yep.
Wait. You said us 2 years ago?
Yeah, BYU in 23.
You're like making this point.
Yeah. I mean, 2 years ago, we built through the transfer portal. We couldn't put together a winning season. So.
Oh man, I thought we were. I was like, this is going to be the most money I've ever made on BYUtv, because we about to go to the playoffs, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I got this before.
Yep.
Money is not, man. You know how they say with relationships, like, money doesn't bring happiness. Money does not bring success at all.
Yep. So I'm not convinced for Texas for that reason. I think that's a win.
And to be honest with you, you know what? Oh, I forgot who I talked to. It's my CTE kicking in again on the basketball team.
AJ Devonta.
No, he plays 3-on-3 now.
Oh, Trevin now.
Trevin, I'm sorry. Trevin, Trevin, don't take it personal. I love you. You know, we here. He said that they would strategically figure out what other players are making, and then talk smack. Like when that player's like shooting free throws, talk smack to somebody else, like, he only been here a month. You gonna let him? How does he make more money than you? And then he said that instead of like them playing it off, like as far as banter, they'd be like, "Nah, you're right. I just talked to my mom about this last night." You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's a thing.
It's a thing. Yeah,
it's a thing, and it's true. Think about like us in our professional careers, right? Like I've been here for 10 years at this company. The director leaves. I'm a manager. The director leaves, and then you gonna hire somebody else that don't. He ain't even.
Yep.
I'm gonna be pissed. It's
same thing.
It's the
same. They got a lot to deal with nowadays. It is. It's a whole new level, because they've got to work. They got to work through that every season.
And Texas A&M showed us that money doesn't matter.
Exactly. That's another team that tried
matter.
to build through the portal. So I just don't think Texas Tech will have it this year. We'll see, but I don't think they'll have it.
Yep.
All right. So 3 more, final stretch. Old Mountain West rival. Dude, I was there. Well, actually, that was the year before you. Never mind. But yeah, TCU seemed to have our number there in those latter years of the Mountain West. But do you think we can get revenge this year?
I'm saying loss because I think TCU wins the Big 12 this year.
I got PTSD. There's 2 schools I got PTSD from: Florida State and TCU. I think because of my state of mind and what I've been through and my traumatic experiences, I'm not qualified to give you an answer. I'm not qualified for it, but I don't know. You know, like with Gary Patterson out, because we ran the same defense as them. People that don't understand and know, back in the Mountain West, our defense literally came from Gary Patterson. So some really insight. Oh, this is good. This is good information. Yeah, so this will validate why I sucked. So he would stand by the offensive coordinator offensive coordinator would call a play, and then to the offense, we would come out in our formation, and then Andy Dalton, that's right. Andy Dalton would stop, look on the sideline. And you could see Gary Patterson talk to the offensive coordinator and tell him
change the play.
What
play's going to work against that defense.
Exactly, bingo. And
that's awesome.
Hey, 88, every play. So I would say,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say that he hated BYU. I guess they apparently used to practice with what BYU helmets on the dummies, whatever, when they're hitting them and stuff. But his kids, he has 1 or 2 kids, I think, that went to BYU. So
I didn't know that.
His kids are LDS. Wait, the crazy thing is this. So we played them. It's my first year here. We played them before we played Utah, right? So I don't even know that experience. But game day, it was the first time game day.
Yeah,
college game day. Yeah. Hey, I had like 5 of my girlfriends had like 5 different signs. It was cool. That was a good experience. But when I heard the stories of how, because prior to that, BYU had won. I think the prior year, 2008, like Max like stunk it up, had like 5 turnovers or whatever.
Yep, 8.
But prior to that year, that was like their vision was BYU is the one that like we want to have a Mountain West Conference championship, and it's going to go through BYU. So a lot of players, or I would say teams, NFL whatever level, have a countdown to the first game. Their countdown was to BYU. It's not this TCU. We're not even talking about Utah.
Yep.
And when I heard that, I was like, I immediately got chills. I was like, guys, let's regroup. Let's talk. I know it's my first 7 months here, but let's talk about this.
So you're still filled with TCU trauma all these years later.
I just forgave myself like maybe a year, maybe 2 years ago that I always blame myself. 2009. I blame myself that I lost the game 2009, TCU and Florida State.
Man, that's a heavy burden to carry. I don't remember as a fan. I don't remember that way. So you're totally forgiven.
Well, let's just edit that part out then. Yeah.
Well, I do want to say, since we're talking back to then, I do remember you as a player. So I sat on in the west stands, but on the very south part, so kind of adjacent to the end zone, so with the mountains to my back, but because you were often on that side of the field, and so I just remember watching you a lot. I do remember some of that Florida State game, but we'll forget that. But I do remember watching you a lot, which is part of why it's so exciting to have you on, because you were always I felt like often like you were just right in front of me, and I'd watch you, and you were locked down. So
I thought I ran a 4.4 because at my junior college, I was like the 8th fastest person on the team. When I got to BYU, I was the fastest person by far. Like it was like. See, I had no words. It blew my mind. I was like, there's no way. And then my teammates were like, well, Mormon old white guys mission, and I was like, oh, okay, I can start to see that. So I thought so it messed me up because I went into D1 thinking that I was decent speed. I get to D1 and I'm like, I'm invincible. Then I play Florida, and wait, take a step back. Then I play Oklahoma, and I'm like, I am fast. Tulane comes, and I'm like, I'm super fast. I get to Florida State, and I was like, I need to rethink my life. I thought I ran a 4.4.
They had so many NFL guys on that team, though. I mean, they were stacked that year.
Let me tell you this little story. It's gonna take 10 seconds. There was a screen to a running back to my side. I'm running for the angle to catch the running back from the screen out the backfield. I had to do a double take because the guy that was blocking me, his waist was right here. Now, obviously, I'm small. Obviously, right? I'm 5'6". But his waist is right here. So I did a double take because usually receivers' waist are like here, but his waist is here. And when I did the double take, I was like, oh, this is the offensive tackle. And he keeping up with me. That's when I tell you that was the most humbling moment of my life. To have an offensive tackle keep up with me 10 yards down the field. That's when I knew
Not
I was
fast anymore.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm sorry.
After that Florida State game, so I was dating my wife at the time, and I come back and I'm totally dejected after the Florida State game. And there was like some interview or something because she'd been kind of watching. She didn't go to it, but she'd had it on, and they interviewed Bobby Bowden afterwards. And all she had to say is, "He seems like a nice guy." And it was just like, like a time boy. He seems like a nice guy. Like I was just like, that's. I don't want to hear it right now. Like it was.
You should
still bring that up sometimes.
The video of them taking a shovel and taking grass from LaVelle Edwards Stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they took the, you know what I'm saying? Like they literally took the grass. Now I always say this. I'm like, man, if LaVelle would have had passed away before then, I probably would have been in jail. You know what I'm saying? But having a really poor performance, I saw that, I was like, look, fellas, this is disrespectful, but it can't be me. I can't be the one that
somebody's got to do it.
Somebody else got to do it, but my performance, I can't do it.
All right, let's hit those last two games. I got to hop off because 5 a.m. comes early tomorrow.
TCU is a loss. I put a win, but I went back and forth on this one. This one very easily could be a loss, but I'm going to say we're at home. I got to put a win.
Who we playing?
What? TCU.
Just TCU.
You passed on TCU.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wow. See, this goes back. This goes back to what I said about the whole 15-second delay. Like, I can't. Let me pray on it. I need to pray and fast.
Okay. Good both in.
All right. Then we go to Cincinnati after this.
That's a win. That's easy.
I'm gonna say that's a loss.
I actually have a loss here too.
I think Cincy has a bounce back year. I don't know why everyone's so down on them. I think they've got some potential with Sorsby to bounce back and be a decent team. I don't think they're going to be like contending for a championship. But us late in the season, injuries pile up. We're on the road. I got us at a late season loss, unfortunately.
Hey, look. I'm gonna tell you this. Recency bias is a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, big time. They were bad last year. They'll be bad this year.
Well. Let's go further. Like they made the college football playoffs. They got whooped by Georgia, but they remind me of a Boise State, right? Like logos are so important when it comes to predictions and recency bias as well, right? Like there's a reason why. Think about this. Utah had a horrible year last year. BYU, let's not take Jake and the quarterback into consideration. because there was a lot of polls that were produced before he officially was let go. And Utah is right behind BYU. Why? Utah's in Pac-12 championships. They're in Rose Bowls. That logo, right? It's the logo. BYU BYU had logo recognition for a year consistently. Utah has had a logo recognition for years. That's why they can come up across a shit. 5 out of 5. I'm good.
Good catch. Good catch.
That's why they can come off a bad year, and they're receiving. They're 27, 26 in voting, right? Or 27 in voting.
Yep.
Like still have recognition.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I think we still have a little bit of a lag from Cincinnati.
Yeah, we
That's my
need it.
opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think we've lost to Cincinnati yet, but this might be the first year, and that'll hurt because we've had a pretty good record other than one loss that shouldn't have happened against UCF. Against the other 3 teams that came in with BYU to the Big 12, we're undefeated.
We've done well. Yeah, that's true.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
So, speaking of which, UCF to end the season there in Provo, Thanksgiving weekend, you got to come up from Orlando. I chalk this one up to a win.
Yeah, I'm calling it a win.
Have you guys seen the movie Snow Day?
Mm-mm.
I don't think I have.
How old are you guys? If you don't mind me asking.
I think I'm older than you.
Nah, I'm 37. I'm old.
I'm older than you. Got you beat by 2 years.
You're 40?
I'm knocking on the door of 40.
You look good for 40, man.
Oh, thank you.
You look good. You look good. So you're 39?
Uh-huh.
What we doing for the 40th? I'm ready.
Cancun, man, all kinds of stuff.
Hey, let me know. Hit me up.
That's right.
You come out here, we'll show you the best that Williamsburg has to offer. Of course, everything closes by like 9:30. So
I'm there. No, I think I try to set that it's probably a bad joke. I try to set that up that it's a real thing, from a player's perspective. Like climate, right? And when we went to Florida State my senior year, when I tell you I felt like my nose was like Jay-Z, because Jay-Z got the biggest nose. I was breathing in air. My lungs were like full. I was like, I could run 10 miles. Like it's a thing. And and when they come, and vice versa, when they come in there, like, I can't breathe. It's a thing. Now, the key is that it doesn't affect you until the fourth quarter.
Mm.
The fourth is when it is. I promise you.
Believe it.
The fourth is when it is. So, when it comes to that elevation is one thing. But I would say more importantly is like I'm in Florida and I wake up, it's 60, 70, 65 degrees every day, and I come to 30. Yeah. I may fake an injury. I don't want to play, Coach. I might even want to travel.
So you think the Cougars got it then in the
Oh, easy. It's easy.
Okay. So Adam, what was your record of your picks?
That's 8-4. I'm 8-4.
That's what I had, 8-4.
I'm like, what? There's 2 games I couldn't confirm. Wait, I gave you 1 loss, right?
Yeah.
One loss. We're a 1-loss team.
I gave you 1 loss, and I gave you 2 games that I need to pray about.
That's right. You'll get back to us.
Adam's 8-4. I'm 8-4. Brian is what? 8-2 and 2 question marks.
2 prayer.
8-2 and 2.
Yep. I like that, Adam. Yep. Uh-huh.
Well, I hate to jump off early, Brian. It has been awesome. I've got a jet.
No, you're good.
But this has been fantastic. It really has. Hopefully, we'll have you back on again sometime. This has been great.
Anytime you guys need me, and as we grow in our relationship, I'll learn a little bit more to keep my responses more shorter.
No, it's been awesome.
You know what I'm saying? So
cool stuff.
Anytime you need me, Adam, let me know.
Hey, appreciate it. Everyone go see Adam. Everyone make sure you go follow Brian on Twitter. Follow him, go catch him on AFR, on BYU Sports Nation when he's hosting, and all that good stuff. And Brian, it was a pleasure. It was a lot of fun having you on. Appreciate it. We'll have to do this again sometime. We do live shows, live reaction after the games. So feel free to come join us anytime. And
hey, get me on. You know, I obviously I'm committed to the post game show with BYUtv, but after that, man, I'm happy to get on. It's you guys are really interesting. I say this sincerely, like a lot of things vibe, a lot of things connected. You know, I really like a lot of what you guys are doing. You guys make me think. That's the thing. A lot of people don't really make me think a lot. And also you guys have asked questions that I sincerely and genuinely I've been waiting for somebody to ask, but I wanted it to be organic, right? Like I could easily have asked Spencer or Jerem to ask me these questions. And I'm not saying this in a negative way. I just think that we're so close with our relationship that it just probably is not on their, top of mind. And so I like you guys. So hey, I'm a fan. Whatever you guys need from me, whenever you guys need, as long as it doesn't, interfere with other things, man, I'm here for you. So let me know when you guys ready to rock again, and I got you guys.
All right, appreciate it. We'll do it again sometime. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.